Good evening, YouTube. Just hold on, let me just adjust my microphone quickly. Alright, I hope that didn't make too much noise. Welcome, and we've hit episode number 4 of Livestream Thursday, so thank you very much for joining. Ooh, something's happening in the background. Okay. I see some random video going absolutely nuts there. Cool. So, let's get back to the normalcy. Welcome to episode number 4. Thank you very much for joining me. I thought I'd start off with a Bowser theme there. It was quite dramatic and had an epic feel to it, because tonight we're going to be reviewing a title called A Book of Unwritten Tales number 2. And it is the sequel to obviously number 1. And it was launched earlier this year. Let me just quickly pop on over to the game library just to find it. There it is, Book of Unwritten Tales. I haven't run it on PC yet. Tonight I'm reviewing it on PC. I've been playing it on PS4 as well. The PS4 version was released on the 22nd of September, so it's been ported over to consoles. Obviously it first started on PC, Mac and OS X. And now it was ported over to consoles, so PlayStation 4 as well as Xbox One. So we're going to be doing the review on PC tonight, and I'll be comparing it to the PlayStation version, which I've gotten quite far in. So without further ado, let's hit into the launch screen, and then you can see the comical side of things. Okay, please launch. Don't be cheeky. Okay, there we go. It's asking me for game resolution. So we're going to set it to 1920 by 1080. Graphics quality we're going to have on, we'll set it on high. And I'm pretty much happy with what it's giving me now. Okay, cool. So the game should be launching now. There we go. So let me just reduce the volume there of the audio. A million and 5 times better. Okay, cool. So, as mentioned earlier, this title is the sequel to number 1. Now, Book of Unwritten Tales 2 is a comedy point-and-click adventure game. Pretty much like the old school games, man. I had the name on my tongue a second ago, and you all would have freaked out at this game. I mean, I'm sure you all played it if you're part of my generation. Anyways, the the game was created by a German developing company called King Art Games, and it was published by Nordic Games and the Adventure Company. Now, as mentioned earlier, the platforms it was launched for first was Linux, Microsoft Windows, and OS X, and it's just been ported to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Original release date was the 20th of February 2015, so earlier this year, and about 2 weeks ago it launched on consoles. So it is a single player game where you get to interact with your environment and certain objects, and you get to join objects to progress through the story. And if you don't figure out the puzzle, you just cannot continue the game. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. I'll show you, because the fun is in playing. It really is a fun game. So let me just quickly give you a quick rundown on the plot summary, or at least the characters. There are 4 main characters. A gnome mage by the name of Wilbur, a very narcissistic human by the name of Nate, Ivo, who is an elven princess, and a furry little alien creature known as Critter. and they adventure through the land of Aventasia. Now, this story, being a comedy title, it's not like this. When I say there's weird stuff happening in the kingdom causing chaos, it's not like bad stuff. It's strange things, like there's a magical force busy turning beasts into puppies and fluffy little bunnies and turning massive castles into tiny little doll houses. So it's not like your epic disasters. It's pretty funny. So it's a comedic combat title, I suppose. So let's not take too much time away from the actual gameplay, and let's head straight into it. So let's start off the new game.
War had raged through all Aventasia. The alliance of humans, elves, and dwarves fought against the evil army of the shadows. The war had devastated the country for years upon years, and yet no one gained the advantage. And so it was that in that time of deepest despair, that an old archaeologist uncovered the location of the artifact of divine fate. The artifact could fulfill every wish, and thus decide the war, for one side or the other. Led by Warlock Munkus, son of Archwitch Mortroga, the Shadows hunted for the artifact. And they would have reached it first, were it not for a group of heroes who stood against them.
There's our four guys.
The young gnome who was the first of his clan to become a mage. Ivo, the courageous elven princess from the woodland realm. And the Critter, a hairy creature from the Northlands, companion of the most brilliant of the heroes, Nate Bonnet, who is supposed to spend the rest of his life at the side of an elven princess.
You gotta check this out.
Who deserved the kingdom and all the riches in the world.
This is funny as heck.
Who should stop wasting time talking about himself in the third person.
I do that quite often. But how's that? You get thrown smack bang into the story. You're like falling from where? What's happening? Cool, so now let's start interacting with our environment.
Good, good. This is good. Although the ground is still getting closer.
Okay, so as you'll see the little mouse reticle, if it's not on anything that can be interactive, it's just a tiny little dot there, or triangle or whatever. But as soon as you get to something that you can interact with, the mouse head changes. And at the bottom tells you that you can climb up the rock face. So let's climb up, or what we think is up. Ooh. Okay, so
part of the jetty. At least some of it survived the explosion.
What explosion? I'm sure we'll find out later.
If I'm lucky, this will go all the way up to the island.
What's your bets? What's your bets? Place your bets now.
I really doubt it will.
Does that rope go all the way to the top? Ooh, fail. Alright. George of the Jungle, it seems.
Oh, hi Nate, how's it going?
Good, for now. Could it be that your spell didn't quite work out the way you planned?
I did tell you there were certain risks involved.
No big thing. So, now that we have a little time to kill, why don't you tell me a little something about yourself?
Oh, right. Well, yes, I came into this world in an oasis in the Umzu Desert, and at that time
I don't think he really wants to know.
Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Definitely not the time to reminisce.
Then why did you ask?
I could use
It's
some
called
help
sarcasm,
here,
Bunny.
Well, you did see what happened last time I cast a spell.
Time to make up for it then. Now shake a leg.
Oh, I don't know. I might just end up making everything worse.
Okay, so you can see down at the bottom here, you get given some choices to interact, and these all produce their own result, but there is only one way to progress, so it doesn't affect the gameplay or the storytelling what you choose. One way or another, you'll find your way to the correct interaction point, and it'll just carry on the game. So you can have fun if you really wanted to just give this blue genie, a bad time for causing an explosion and dropping you in the middle of the air. So let's go and say,
Can't you just stop time? Or wings! Give me wings! How
have
about
a Red
that?
Bull.
Oh, this is all terribly complicated. I really don't feel up to it today, Nate.
Benny!
Perhaps tomorrow? I really do need to think through what's happened today properly.
You get me out of the mess you got us into right now!
Please don't yell at me! I just can't take it anymore!
Benny! Ah! Stay easy. We can forget about miracles. I gotta find something easy, something even he thinks he can do.
How dramatic is the music?
A flying carpet. Is that too much to ask?
I'm not talking to you.
Why you... I'm sorry I criticized your work, Benny.
It's marvelous work.
And-
It's very spacious.
and
I mean, just take a
shook
look
your
at that
lamp.
view.
And everything else. You meant well.
Well, all right then. I forgive you. What can I do for you?
You've got such a kind heart,
Carpet.
Benny. Thank you.
A flying carpet. Shouldn't be too hard. Should I really dare? Am I really up to
Yes.
it?
Yes, you are. Now...
Yes!
Voila!
What the heck? What happened here? No!
Guess who it is? There's the critter! Kinda makes me think of a Muppet. Hope you guys know what a Muppet means. And this intro is really wicked. It's a lot like a certain TV show that we all know about and should be watching. So here you get given a bit of a tutorial instruction on how to play the game.
Welcome, adventurer. I am the tutorial, guardian of gameplay, explainer of controls.
Hi, Guardian.
To move a character,
You look like
click
Wall-E.
anywhere in the scene, wherever your heart desires. Well done. If you left, now click on that big lever.
Which one? That one. Okay.
The robot has used the lever, as this seemed logical to him. Now
To
click
me
the
as well.
lever with your right mouse button so that the robot looks at it rather than uses it.
Okay.
Excellent. The robot thinks the lever is working.
Mhm.
But if that's so, then where is the problem? That hatch over there, left click it.
Okay. Yes,
Little
R2.
chap seems to think there are advanced engine mechanics hidden behind there. Perhaps that's where the problem is. Click on the hatch again using the left mouse button.
Yes, sir.
First left click will allow you to look, the second to use. Why? Because after a player character has looked at something, the most logical thing to do next is use it. It's quite simple. Right click when you want to look at something, Left-click in order to do whatever that character thinks is the next most sensible move. Is the machine working again? Left-click on the lever.
It is only logical. Alright, very bad. Okay, let's carry on. Woohoo! Let's carry on. Look at that scenery. Wow, I'm playing such a cool game. Look at the thrones and stuff. See what I did
Appears
there?
to be a new problem. Better take a closer look at the engine.
Oh, Wally, look out.
Oops, that wasn't very helpful. Please pick up both gear cogs.
You'll see it'll get dropped into the inventory down at the bottom here.
Great work.
Cool, for future
Items you
reference.
pick up will go into your inventory. To open and close your inventory, left-click the rucksack. To use an inventory item, left-click it and then left-click the object that you want it to be used with. Use one of the gears in your inventory with the engine of the town model. Perfect. You better oil.
He was going to say we better oil it.
That should do it. Time to crank it up.
Okay, you see the reference is Wally. That's why I call him Wally. Take a look, he's got a little logo and everything. Just go and Google what Wally looked like. This game is absolutely brilliant in the way that it references other titles, other games, other things that we all know and love and enjoy. I mean, take a look at this intro. It's so Game of Thrones-y, with Wally thrown in there. And a little bit later we're going to get to a library area where, guys, I had so much fun checking out that area.
You can examine objects in the inventory in more detail. Pick up the damaged figure and the toolbox. Then when you are in the inventory, right-click the toolbox in order to examine it. Great! You found a few items in the toolbox. You can use these items on each other by initially left-clicking the first object, and then, when you have this item on the cursor, you left-click the second object.
Cool.
Try to repair the figure in the inventory.
So, screwdriver, hammer, or adhesive tape. I went with adhesive tape on my first try, and it was right, so I'm going to do that again.
Well done. Now place the figure back in its rightful place on the balcony of the castle and start the machine.
Now that trumpeting thing there always happens when you've achieved your goal or that you're able to progress in the storyline. You'll see later in the story.
Excellent. Now ready. One last thing. If you press the spacebar, all interesting objects in the scene will be displayed. Good luck with your adventures in the Book of Unwritten Tales 2.
Thank you very much.
I'm worried about you.
Oh,
Okay,
Mother.
so this is the main story now.
What's wrong with you?
This carries on from
Everything's
the
fine.
first title.
No, you don't look well at all. Positively rotund. It is unseemly for an elf princess to cope with her frustrations by comfort eating. If you carry on like this, you won't fit into your wedding dress.
I don't have any intentions of marrying anytime soon.
Oh, darling, we've been through that already. Prince Lalilos is going to be arriving next week. You will like him. He's charming and... Look, he sent us a picture of himself and his sister.
How nice.
Which of the two is the sister?
Owned.
The elf nobility, unfortunately, has not got any unshaven Neanderthals to offer. You'll just have to get used to that.
I don't have the slightest interest in that person. Not anymore.
You are at the heart of the Elf Kingdom, in the castle of your family where you belong. No one here should be sad, tired, or fat. I only want what's best for you, Ivo.
Very caring mommy.
Did you see that? She's locked me in. Yes, only what's best for me. She always says that.
Mother knows best. That's from what? What's that Rapunzel thing? Oh, Tangled. Yes. Okay.
Have you seen this prince? A vain river elf who's only interested in topping up his tan. I'm to spend hundreds of years in the company of someone I don't love? Huh, not me. And how? She will try anything and everything. Nothing's more important to her than getting me married off. Ugh. I didn't want to tell Mother, but I've not been feeling too well lately, Cheap. I'd say the same thing, but we elves hardly ever get ill.
Jeez, I don't know how she really
Yeah, you've
knows
got a point
what cheap
there.
cheap
I
means
spent
every
almost a
single
year in the
time.
human world, and they have some very
probably
strange
not very
ideas about
expensive
personal
conversation.
hygiene. Well, I thought perhaps it's a curse. Oh, no, you won't. I'll take care of it myself. Mother would make a state occasion out of it. I don't know either, but I'm sure there's a medical book down in the library. No, rest is not what I need just now. I'll go down to the library and look up what's wrong with me, completely alone, just like a grown-up elf. I'm not going to be stopped, neither by locked doors nor by you.
Alright, now that we've gotten through all of that dialogue and everything, now we can start interacting with our environment. So she said that she needs to get to the library, right? Let's try and go through the door.
Mother's locked me in, as if I was 200 again. Since I secretly escaped from the elf burrow last year, she's taken to guarding me closer than ever before.
So that gives you a little bit of a, if you haven't played the first one, like me, it just shows you that she obviously escaped and she joined the explorers in the land, and now that she's back, obviously she's got an overprotective mommy trying to keep her indoors. So let's go and take a look. How do we get downstairs? Okay, let's try and climb down into the garden.
It may not be befitting of a princess, but this isn't the first time that I've climbed into the garden via the balcony, and it won't be the last. I'm just doing my morning exercises. I wasn't going to. Of course, I could just ignore him and climb down into the garden anyway. He would, however, make a beeline to Mother and tell on me, and who knows what the two of them would cook up for me next.
Okay.
We have many exotic plants here in the palace, but sunflowers are my favourite. Apologies, I need a few of your seeds.
So let's try and distract the birdie.
The times when the others were here in the elf burrow, those were the best that I've ever had. The critter could never keep still when I was drawing him. He was always pulling faces and trying to make me laugh. Wilbur was so excited. He loves elves and our stories. He spent hours sitting with my father and listening to him talk about bygone ages. Complete idiot.
Yeah, there was a guy that was busy falling through the sky. I didn't even attempt to make that rhyme, but it did.
Normally this bowl is full of fruit and nuts. Presumably Mother has decided I should be without such things whilst I am, as she says, positively rotund.
Yeah, fatty.
Cheep Cheep, would it be possible for you to stop admiring yourself for 2 seconds and move over to stuffing your beak instead? Don't say I never look after you.
Ich wonder what's in
Pearls,
here.
precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. All the stuff I have to wear at official functions. If it were up to Mother, I would have trunkfuls of this stuff, and a wing of the castle would be my wardrobe. She just can't understand why Pa and I aren't into this sort of thing. The box, as well as its hinges and lock, has been fashioned from one...
Okay. Yes, I remember now.
An envoy from the Far East gave me this musical box years ago. Wherever I go, I always have its tune in my head.
Let's hear this tune.
Hey, withdrawal symptoms? I just need the music box a minute.
I'm sure you can
You
guess
don't
what's
need to
about
turn
to
your head
happen.
away from your beautiful reflection for 1 second. Come on. Shh.
You got a snoring birdie.
He's gone to sleep. It got dark and he's simply... No matter. I can now enjoy a few moments of peace.
There's the trumpets. Cool, so we would probably be able to now get down the balcony into the garden.
Let's go. As expected, no one here. My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is. There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they were planted there. They don't grow in the wild so high up the mountains. I can't think of any use for a water lily, but a reed could come in handy.
Okay, so spacebar shows us everything that is interactable. Okay, so let's take a look. What does the tree do?
That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content it looks anything but sad.
Wow, this is cool. I remember this.
fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
The garden always looks fantastic, Arbor.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
Ah, that's just moss, my dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener. Get it?
Green thumb.
Nowhere are the trees so green and healthy as here in the elf world. You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. What do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog?
Bah.
Nah, my darling. I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
I have to get on.
Yup, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there.
Let's go and see what plant he's talking about.
Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers to hang their heads in this garden. Normally they blossom in our good earth, not to mention the power of Arbor's green fingers.
How pretty it is up here. Here's the library. Okay, cool. So here is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. See if you can spot all of the game references and TV show references in this room. It is absolutely ridiculous. Like, take a look at the swords. I'm sure that's pretty much Cloud's sword from Final Fantasy.
Swords of all the idiots who have tried to conquer the elf burrow. It's become less frequent over the last few centuries. Humans and dwarves appear to have learnt their lesson. It's said that a ruler in the north wanted to build himself a throne out of all the swords of conquered enemies. Unfortunately, he died after only conquering one enemy, when he refused to heed all the warnings and sat on the throne.
Game of Thrones. That I can't really make out what sword that is. But there, we've got a Minecraft sword. How freaking wicked is that? And that looks like the the sword Bilbo and freak me. Frodo carried the sword that glows blue. Man, I forget what it's called now. Anyway, so there's those references.
This flower
Then
clearly is one of the more exotic of the palace's flowers. It comes from a country in the deep south beyond the deserts. It's said that the flower of this plant used to be sent as a declaration of war, or if one wanted to deprive someone of all sense.
Deep South Desert. Take a look
Why
at
do
the
so
irony.
many people hate this flower? Perhaps it has an abhorrent smell. Now that explains why this flower is classified
Deep
as a
South.
weapon in 24 countries.
Vuvuzela. You remember exactly what happened with World Cup. Any case, so I'll click there by accident. So here we have a hat, which looks a lot like the Mad Hatter's hat. Then we have the Cube of Power from the Avengers. Then we have a companion cube from Portal. Then we have the Allspark from Transformers. We have a very messed up Sully from Monsters Inc. There we have a helmet. You gotta hear what she says here.
A present from one of the northern kingdoms. Strange folk up there. The men climb mountains and shout foul-mouthed things in dragon's language at the dragons. I think it's some kind of
Fosrota! That is... Yep, you guessed it, from Skyrim. And if we come a little bit closer here... what have... Oh, no, don't go that way. Come here. What have we got here? We have got the 3 dragons' eggs from Game of Thrones. And then we've got a massive dragon's head up there. And that is from... You should get it.
A few years ago, this dragon was causing a whole lot of grief. A bounty was put on its head, and all heroes of the land were encouraged to hunt it down. 40 brave warriors penetrated its lair and slew it. They brought the head to the palace where it was displayed in triumph. The strange thing was that a bit later more adventurers came carrying an identical head. Then more and more heroes arrived.
We're talking 40 people. Slaying a dragon. Going into a dungeon. It sounds to me like a raid. That is, I think, Sindragosa from, or Sindragosa, or Syndra, whatever, from World of Warcraft. I've beaten her a few times. Okay, cool. So, we're in the library. We need to find a book.
Several books about animals, an atlas, a book about humans. Actually, more of a brochure. And what's this? Fishing for the moderately talented.
Okay, there's another one down here. We're trying to find a medicine book.
What have we got here then?
Yeah, what do we have got here? You want to do something? Seems to be hanging. Oh no. Okay, let's try and go out and back in. Oh, there, it got stuck there.
What have we got here then? Aha.
There we go.
Ah, Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Ow! Be careful, if you please.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
Ill elf. So I look ill. What's wrong with me?
Take it easy, young one thing at a time.
Young one. I'm older than you.
And you look it too.
I do?
No, of course not, and I can also see no illness. but the mere fact that I've been fished out from the back of the shelf for the first time in centuries tells me that something is wrong.
I haven't been feeling too well recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus. But I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely certain, you must mix a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
All right, this potion. What goes in it?
It is very easy to make. You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
Oh, that sounds revolting.
It's medicine. It isn't supposed to taste nice.
And if I drink it, I'll be well again?
We will then at least know what is wrong with you.
Are you actually qualified to make a diagnosis? And why can you talk?
I am a magical medicine book. That actually serves as an answer to both of your questions.
I've never encountered a talking book before.
Of course not. I am the only talking book here. That's the problem. In the magical library in Seastone, all books can talk. Things really get cooking there, believe me.
Especially between all the cooking books.
Thank you. I think that's all for now.
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
Listen to me. I am a doctor. Okay, cool. So now we have our list of ingredients that we need to go and find within this interactive realm. So that way goes back to the bedroom. So let's go up there and see what we can interact with.
The door can be opened easily from the outside. If it was up to me, it would stay open.
Alright, so there's a knitted hat.
I had my birthday during the few weeks that we spent living together here in the Elf Burrow. That was a big deal for Wilbur. He couldn't understand that the significance of birthdays tends to fade after a few hundred years. He insisted on making me a present. He sat in the corner for days knitting me this hat with his little gnarled fingers.
Okay, so that's not going to do anything.
Pearls, precious stones, sparkling earrings and necklaces. Goodness knows what I could use this tat for right now. The box as well as its hinge. Pearls, precious stone. Goodness knows.
Okay. Bed.
I've been sleeping badly of late, and sometimes I feel tired all day long. I've never been ill, but something isn't right. I hope I'll find the answer in the library.
We're busy looking for it.
Water's the easiest ingredient to find. We have copious amounts of it here.
Water in the bowl.
That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion. A beautiful red flower. It was only put here a few days ago. Sometimes Mother orders a new plant that looks nice in my room. And then it's replaced and planted in the garden.
Okay, so that's for the bedroom interactions. What's the telescope do?
I used to look into the woods for days on end, imagining what the world beyond would be like. Now I know. and I think I miss it.
Can we take some more sunflower seeds?
I'm going to have to take a few more of your seeds, but I promise this is the last time.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Nope. Just climbing down the balcony. Okay, throne
That
room.
leads up to the throne room. Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst Pa leans against the tree of life, probably sleeping.
Okay, pond.
As suspected, there are red herrings swimming in the pond. They are really saltwater fish that live in the sea, but they always come back to their homeland to breed. They're the only known fish variety that can scale nearly vertical cliffs.
Okay, so there's red herrings in there. So can we fish them out? Got reed head. Okay, no, none of those are gonna help us fish. Okay. Alright. Okay, so there's something here. Look at the pot.
Arbor's pot, literally.
Take a few worms.
I really shouldn't. It's only Earth. I should tell Mother how her daughter. Well, she'd be delighted.
Okay, so worms to help fish. Look at the stone.
A handy smooth stone. Arbor's sheepdog.
Bark! Okay, take the stone. Okay, so why is it pulling us through this way?
I don't know the names of all the plants in the garden. Grandmother knows them all, which is probably down to the fact that it was her that gave many of the plants their names a few thousand years ago. Shite beerwood, sweat tea, dodder flower, fat hen, bistort, stink root. We no longer invite her to family gatherings.
Well, I don't blame you. Just don't let her name... Ooh, okay, almost. Spoiler. Spoiler. I'll try and remember a little bit later. Okay, cool. So, can we interact here? Yes, we can talk to Arbor. There's
Mother thought it was
bees.
unseemly of the bees to build their hive in our garden.
So we needed honey.
I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the only queen here. I convinced Mother not to have the hive removed, and she reluctantly agreed.
Okay, so
However, should she be stung, then the hive's days are numbered. The bees are buzzing around the hive quite merrily. Anyone messing with them will know about it fast.
Alright, okay, so we can't take any honey. We'll interact with this monkey.
Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
Have you found out what's wrong with the plant yet?
Nope, I haven't. Everything looks proper. Earth is moist and nutrient-rich. The sun is shining. Difficult case. I'd quite like to smoke my morning pipe now, but... first work, then play.
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine, then you'd help me with that, wouldn't you?
Ill? You're an elf! Elves don't get ill!
But if I were...
Oh, come on, now tell me. How can I help you?
Do we have a lettuce bush in the garden here?
That bush over yonder.
But that fruit's red.
And what colour do you expect, then?
Green. Are they only green when they're not ripe?
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
Pardon?
The lettuce bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if it thinks it's in danger, then they go green and very sour. Call it a defense mechanism.
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has nothing to be afraid of here.
That's right.
R. So it's a pirate tree.
Do you know how I could get my hands on some honey?
Try the kitchens.
I prefer not to wander through the castle.
Of course. Someone would tell your mother.
Would that beehive in the tree over there be of any help?
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can give you a nasty sting.
Couldn't they be
Unless your name
distracted
is
or
Winnie the
tricked in
Pooh.
some way?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use smoke that calms the bees. But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the
You
bees
do
keep
have
their
a
honey and they
smoking
pollinate
pipe,
my
though.
flowers. That's
You
how
just
we've
said
always
so.
done it.
Ah,
I
fishing
often
rod.
see you fishing. Could you lend me your rod?
Of course, if you bring it back in one piece. What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod, or that you'd ask me to collect a variety of mystical items in exchange for it.
Why? It's only a rod.
Thanks.
Not everything needs to be complicated, you know.
Oi,
There's
tell that
something
to
else.
real life.
See you later, Arbor.
See ya.
Cool, so we got fishing rod. Let's go fishing. Let's go get those red herrings. Okay, so let's interact. So there's the fishing rod. Fish in the pond.
I don't have a clue about fishing, but I'll try my luck. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand, somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing.
Uh-oh, fishing skill risen to 1. It's like grinding fishing skill in World of Warcraft. Ooh, no more frustrating profession.
I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough. Or I could try to speed things up by learning more about fishing elsewhere.
Okay, good place to start would probably be the library. Okay. Look at the book.
The Biggest Plant Book of Avantasia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bonpland. A standard reference book that Arbor always used to
Sorry,
consult
itchy
every now
armpit.
and then. However, he insists that he now knows it off by heart.
Okay, so there was a book about plants.
Perhaps I can help Arbor solve the problem with that flower. Let's take a look.
Okay, so there's Jack and the Beanstalk reference. I'm not sure what that is. That looks almost something like, I don't know. That reminds me of Plants vs. Zombies. This looks like something from Tinkerbell. Yes, I watched Tinkerbell. Seymour from Little Pet Shop of Horrors. There's an apple tree from What. Ah, mandrakes. We know where that's from. Harry Potter. What happens if we click there?
Mandrake should only be cultivated by experienced gardeners. The cry of the baby mandrake can kill anyone within 20 meters instantaneously.
This is so cool. Okay. So, once again, just check out all the references.
This plant reminds me of the one that Arbor's having problems with at the moment. Love lily. The love lily enters into an enduring relationship with another plant very early in its life, which frequently lasts its lifetime. If the partner plant dies, then the love lily does not normally survive the separation.
Okay, so there's the problem. Okay. So that's the problem with the plant. So we'll get to that in a second. But first, we need to find something about fishing. She said something about fishing just now.
Several books about animals, an atlas, a book about humans. Actually, more of a brochure. And what's this? Fishing for the moderately talented. Perhaps there are a few practical hints and tips in the fishing book. A lucrative season with a successful technique doesn't just depend on the type and quality of your tackle, but also on a really good spot. It doesn't matter whether you jig, dip, toddle or feed. Wobblers, twisters, spinners, blinkers, poppers, jigs, jerks, and live bait must be presented in the most enticing ways possible. I haven't the faintest idea what all that means. I presume my fishing talents are not quite advanced enough to enable me to use this book.
Okay, cool. So she said what? Live bait. So the worms on the yes. Okay, cool. So let's put the worms on the
The worms
hook.
provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. Okay, I remember what this is. Okay, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here, and I'm going to refer to knowledge from when I was playing on the PS4. I need to go and fetch, she was saying something about sparklies, so we need to come and fetch some jewelry to put onto the hook.
These earrings here. They're sparkling and glinting in the sunshine. They could actually come in handy.
Cool, let's see, can we put them on there?
That looks promising.
Yep, there we go. Okay, great. Cool. Let's go that way. Down the balcony. And let's go catch those red herrings. Really?
Nothing. Red herrings are fast and slippery. Even elves can't catch them with their bare hands.
I meant use the fishing rod, lady. Ah, there we
At
go.
last. Now I can take the red herring off my list.
Yep, red herring done. Okay, cool. So next is, so we've got red herring. We've got the water in the bowl. We need fruit from that tree and the honey. Okay, so the metis bush has got red
This is a lettuce bush, just what I need.
fruit.
Only its fruit is red, not green.
Okay, so green was when it was feeling threatened, blue was when it was ripe, and red was when it was peaceful. So let's scare the bush. Scare the bush. Lol.
If the bush had a heart, it would have skipped a few beats.
Cool. There we go. Next ingredient done. Doesn't that look a lot
This
like
is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part of the world. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. The water's missing.
doesn't that look a lot like Lady Galadriel's bowl in Lord of the Rings, or even the bowl of memories in Harry Potter that Dumbledore takes care of?
Hi, Arbor.
Oh, Ivo!
I think I know the name of your patient. It's a love lily.
You don't look particularly loved up.
That's exactly the problem. Love lilies enter into a lifelong partnership with another plant. And if they're separated...
Then they let their heads droop. Good theory. But the fairies know their plants. They'd never have given us a love lily without its partner.
See you later, Arbor.
See ya.
Yes, it was the other plant that's in her room. So, because she said it was put there a few days ago and she got it, and he said earlier that a bunch of plants came through from the fairies. So, Let's go to the balcony and fetch that plant. Plant.
This flower was given to us by the fairies, just like the love lily down in the garden. I bet they belong together.
Cool. Let us go and cure the patient. One of the titles that I could, older titles I can compare this to is Broken Sword, yes, Broken Sword. Okay. Let's talk to
Hi,
him.
Alba.
Oh, Ivo!
I've got a flower here that could help you with your love lily.
And?
Yes, look. Look, do you know this flower?
Oh. Oh, no.
You did well, girl.
It would appear so.
You snivelling girl. You alright?
No. Yes? I don't know.
Well then, I think I've earned myself a little rest now.
Okay, I can't interact yet, so obviously we've got to watch him smoke it up.
The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit.
Okay. Yes, use the reed.
The smoke from Arba's pipe seems to be calming the bees. This is my chance.
Hey now, you alright there?
Sorry, had to do it.
Well, I'm not happy about this destruction of nature. Not unless I get half of that there honey.
I don't need any more. The rest is for you.
Oh, that be good stuff. But that's enough. The bees need a bit too.
There we go. So now we have the red herring, the fruit, the honey, and the water's upstairs in the bowl. So let's go and complete our potion. Okay. Alright, so we probably got to drop everything in. Oh, but this doesn't help. Okay, let's maybe just change the screen a bit. There we go, now I can see.
About 1 spoon of honey. Oh, that fruit smells really sour.
And the red herring.
Thanks for the sacrifice, little fish. Now I've got all the ingredients. I just need to crush them.
Cool, let's crush it.
I'm pretty sure that there's never been anything so utterly revolting concocted in the Elf Burrow ever. Oh, I hope this is some kind of joke.
Okay, so drink it, lady, drink it.
I don't know much, but I do know that I'm not going to drink this potion until I've had another chat to the medicine book about it.
Cool, back to the library. Medicine books down here.
Hi.
Well, what's up?
The potion's ready, but you don't seriously expect me to drink it, do you?
You must.
Cheap, I'm so... Yes, I know, but... This, medicine. Well, I did tell you that I wasn't feeling well, and the medicine book here thinks it could be something serious.
She has to drink it, the sour metis fruit, sweet honey and salty fish. That should give us an answer.
It's not like I doubt your medical knowledge, but perhaps something other than this revolting cocktail might be better.
If you want to know what is wrong with you, drink the medicine. If not, then I'll be glad to carry on talking with you.
Because you haven't spoken to anybody in ages.
Oh, it looks revolting.
It is medicine. It's not supposed to taste nice. That's right. Down to the last drop.
Not as bad as I was expecting. In actual fact, it's quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that.
Congratulations, Ivo. You are pregnant.
Watch the bird. Okay, so don't let your grandmother or great-grandmother name your baby.
No. That is completely impossible. You must be wrong. Surely it's a misdiagnosis.
You are an elf and say that potion is quite tasty. I could definitely drink another glass of that. That's raging hormones talking.
I don't have any hormones. Cheat, no. No, the book has made a mistake. I cannot be pregnant. I've never stood in the divine water with Nate on Midsummer's Night singing the Song of Life. Why? How do humans do it? They do what?
Elves and humans can have children together, but it's not possible without sex.
Ooh,
You
birds
see,
and the bees.
we never had sex. At least not to my
Birds and
knowledge.
the bees. Here's the bird.
But
We
the
had to get bees.
diagnosis is crystal clear.
Let's just pretend that I am pregnant. There must be some explanation, rational or otherwise.
If we discount the possibility that the child was conceived by natural means, which would certainly appear to be the case here, then that leaves us with just the unconventional conception methods. Did you, perhaps, make some kind of pact with a goblin regarding the child? Child in exchange for gold or a kingdom, for example?
No?
Has a god in the guise of a bull appeared to you in your dreams? Any angels been having a word with you?
No?
Have any stars fallen from the heavens recently?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Then that just leaves magic, or a curse. But unfortunately, that is not my area of expertise.
I wish it was so cheap, but my feeling is that the book is right. I am pregnant. One thing's certain. Mother must never find out about this.
Yep.
I don't know either. Do you think that my tummy will start to show? Oh. I'm not sure how, and I'm not sure why, but it would appear that I'm pregnant. And as all other possibilities have been eliminated, then it must be a curse that's responsible. That is fantastic!
Wow, interesting
No,
response.
of course I didn't mean it like that, but just think. Me, cursed. That sounds like an adventure.
Any excuse to get out of the room.
Totally obvious what we need to do now. We ask Archmage Alistair. He's the wisest magician in the realm of man, and he's a friend. He'll be able to tell us what it means. Oh, no, you don't. You
Guessing the
remember
bird
who was
said is
meant to be
going to go and
looking
tell
after me
mommy.
so that nothing happens to me, don't you? Alistair's sure to have the answers. We'll have to track him down in the Mage Tower in Seastone. Only, how are we going to get there? Seastone is days away from here. Oh yeah, saying fly is all well and good. Are you going to teach me quickly then?
Yeah, give her
No,
wings.
we need a fast mode
A
of
Red
transport.
Bull.
And then there's the small matter of the Border Watch. Their longbows can take out a fly's eye at 400 metres, and they will shoot if said fly should dare to set foot in or leave the woodland realm without permission. You don't by any chance know the password that the Border Watch use? Typical.
The
That's
password's
exactly
cheap,
the
cheap.
problem. Mother
expensive
chooses
to
a
get
new
the password.
password every single day, and there's no way I'll get it out of her. Oh, why don't you know the password? You normally know everything.
Yes, clever birdie.
Hey, know-it-all.
Birdie num num.
Mother's mirror. It knows more than you. It must know the password. If we work as a team, we should be able to cast a little light on the matter cheap. After all, if it is a curse, then I'm the victim, not the perpetrator. Well, yes, I know that. She'll blame us whatever happens. But it's best for us to have some answers rather than just presenting her the facts, don't you think? Transport and the password. Let's go.
So, she said mother's mirror, which if I remember correctly was the thingy that I said looks like Lady Glandrill's. Oh. Magic mirror.
An all-knowing mirror. In the current situation, that would be more than useful. The only question is how to cast a spell over the mirror. I've never done that before.
Oh, you're kidding.
There are 3 symbols on the bottom of the bowl. I wonder what they mean. They're the same ones as the columns in the throne room. Each symbol depicts a droplet. Sometimes there's a line underneath it, sometimes above, and here is a circle going through the droplet. Haven't got a clue what they mean. I have seen these symbols once before, up in the throne room if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, we're gonna try and get to the throne room. Wonder if it's gonna let us in now.
Nothing for it. Have to talk to Pa.
Ivo, I thought that we'd agreed that you would stay in your room.
Okay, so underneath, on top, and around.
I'm no longer a little girl who can be shut up in her room.
No? How did you get out of your room? Did you trick Cheep Cheep and then climb over the balcony? That sounds very grown up.
I just left my room to do a bit of training.
Mm-hmm.
You said yourself I've put on a few pounds, and I'm not going to get rid of them by lying around on my bed all day.
Where does this
Good
sudden
answer.
insight come from?
I can't keep asking myself what to do with my life. Perhaps marriage isn't such a bad idea.
It most certainly isn't. And if you train diligently, I'm sure Prince Lalilos will like you a lot.
Of course. Fine.
I would love to help you, but I'm most dreadfully busy. A kind of epidemic seems to have broken out in Seastone.
An epidemic in Seastone?
It's strange. We're getting reports from the whole of the Middle Kingdom. Objects and beings have been changed.
Fluffy bunnies,
The
kittens.
situation isn't clear.
Dollhouses.
It appears as if some kind of terrible power is gradually moving through the whole land, changing it. Do you remember the story of the Nothing? A big
Nothing?
blackness that gradually swallowed a fairy kingdom bit by bit.
What?
Of course.
This time it is much worse. It is pink.
Oh no, not pink?
An epidemic in Seastone. Is it wise for me
A pink nothing.
and it to go there? On the other hand, Wilbur and the Archmage are in Seastone. Perhaps I can help them to fight the epidemic in exchange for them helping me with my problem.
Yes, go fight. There's
Pa
Daddy.
doesn't like getting up early. He always says he needs lots of sleep, but he's never said why. Hey, Pa, the day started ages ago.
What? Oh, Ivo, how's my favourite daughter?
I'm your only daughter.
Oh, that I had 100. You are and will remain something very special. The other 99 will be as well, though.
Pa, you're nuts.
Nope, he's got butterflies and flowers in his branches. No nuts. Oh, mushrooms down there and... yeah, some tangles.
Enlighten me, Father.
The wide sky and the burning sun, high on the rooftop of the world, bring the little llama to tears.
Understood.
Llama.
Enlighten me, Father.
Evil-smelling murlocs,
Murlocs.
deep in prayer, are a wonderful sight.
I'll need to have a think about that.
Jeez.
She locked me up like a small child.
Have you argued again?
She started it.
She loves you.
And she only wants the best for me. How can it be best for me if she constantly criticizes me and forces me to do things that I don't want to do?
She believes that this will help prepare you for the life that awaits you.
I'd just like to decide for myself.
I know. Your mother just doesn't understand that, because she never had that choice.
Pa, would you have used the artifact of divine fate, or would you have hidden it like we did?
I think that too much power can corrupt any one of us.
But you have great powers, and you've never used them for evil.
I could have cured diseased woodlands with the artifact, cleaned rivers in the air. And then what? Then I might have chased away the lumberjacks and destroyed the factories of the dwarves.
I could have helped a lot of humans.
Things take time, Ivo. If you force change before its time has come, then it won't last.
Enlighten me, Father.
Ghosts and demons, denied by those who are unwary, anger the humorless gods.
I'll need to have a think about that.
Sure, should we try this?
I need to tell you something, Father, but I'm not sure how.
You shouldn't worry too much. It's not good for the baby.
He knows
You
already.
know.
Has a zebra got stripes?
How can it have happened? Why?
I don't know. Is that important?
It is. I want to know what's happened to me.
Then look for the answers, my little bud.
How can you be so calm about it?
Because I know that everything will be fine in the end.
And if it isn't fine?
Then it is not the end.
If you don't know what the pregnancy's all about, then I'll have to travel to Seastone and ask the Archmage.
The fact that I don't know means that you did not get pregnant by natural means. And if something does not conform to the laws of nature, then it must be magic. No one knows more about these things than Alistair.
We agree then.
Like snails munching cabbage. Only your mother isn't going to permit it.
I know, but I'll work on that. I've got quite a lot to think about.
Goodbye,
So it
little
was
daughter.
under, over,
See you later,
around.
Father.
Okay, cool. Let's get back to the garden.
Each symbol depicts a droplet. Sometimes there's a line underneath it, sometimes above, and here is a circle going through the droplet. Haven't got a clue what they mean. I have seen these symbols once before.
Oh
Up in
man,
the throne room, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't interact with it. Let's quickly get back there. Guess for obvious reasons I'm not talking too much during this review, so that you can focus more on the conversations.
This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl in the garden. No idea what it means. That's Mother's area of expertise. This symbol's on the bottom of the mirror bowl in the garden.
Okay, so let us talk to Mother.
I can blame Mother for a lot of things, but not laziness. On the contrary, she does the same work as 3 people put together, because she doesn't trust anyone to do it as well. Mother?
Yes, Ivadora.
Those symbols on the columns, what do they mean?
First your insights concerning your wedding, and now an interest in the spiritual? You do surprise me. The 3 symbols depict the 3 different forms that water takes. They are important in many rituals. Water that falls from the sky.
Water from down
Water
below.
that springs from the earth. And water that is bathed by moonlight.
Oh.
Okay.
What's all this different forms of water all about then?
Not all water is the same. It changes. If it bubbles out of a spring, then it is spring water. Then it turns into stream water, perhaps into river water, and then sometimes later into sea water. The voice of water changes, its soul.
And if different forms of water are mixed together?
Then you can create water with powerful magical properties. But it's not as easy as you might imagine. Water is constantly changing its form. Rain is water from the sky, but as soon as it lands in a puddle, then it becomes common puddle water.
See you later, Mother.
Don't pull a face like a wilted willow, Ivo. Smile.
Okay, let's get back to the mirror. Look at the bird bath, look at it. Look at the bird bath.
There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass. Water that has spilled from the earth, water that has been bathed by moonshine, water that has fallen from the sky. They're the same symbols as in the throne room. Water that has spilled from the earth, water that has been bathed by... They're the same symbols as in the throne room. There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheek eye. The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it becomes one of the largest and most important rivers in the woodland realm. There appears to be an amazing collection of stuff accumulated in the little pond. I wonder if there's anything there that could prove useful.
Alrighty. Well, you know, I'm not going to carry on playing from this point onwards. I think you've had a very good insight into what makes this title very entertaining. I mean, we've been playing for, let me just quickly take a look here, close on to an hour and 20 odd minutes, and we've progressed quite a lot, but the story hasn't really started gaining drastic amount of momentum. We haven't even had our we haven't reunited with the trio yet down in Seastone. So you know what? You can keep yourself entertained with this title for a very long time. It's keeping me entertained on the PS4. The PC version seems very, very similar, just as fun. The storylines are exactly the same. They've literally just ported it over and changed the controls, obviously. And I mean, as I've been playing, I hope you've been taking notice of the graphics, the interactions, the mechanics, the I don't know, the audio, the sound, the the humor. I mean, there is so many gems hidden in between what is said and not said. So you know what? I quite honestly, for all intents and purposes, believe that the Book of Unwritten Tales is a great success. Um, I would strongly recommend that you go and take a look at it and purchase the title on Steam if you want to play it on PC. Otherwise, it's available on the PSN store as well as the store for Xbox. I'm not too familiar with that. You can you can send me hate tweets later. Um, so the game for it, well, the game for it, the price for it on Steam is $35. So you can work that out to being around about 400 odd bucks. And for PlayStation and Xbox, it should be roughly around about the same, around about 500 bucks retail price. But you know what? I'll stop saying now. It's been a trend of mine through all of the live casts. Is I would recommend going and taking wow, I'm repeating myself. English not good tonight again. So if you are a fan of point and click adventure strategy games, these puzzlers, I would recommend buying it and spending some time on it. It's kept me entertained and is still going to keep me entertained because I'm going to carry on and find out what the pink nothing is. No, the pink nothing. Anyways, so thank you very much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and so do we all at GES. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at Darkscape. It is a free-to-play MMO, and it's PvP based. So it's the client's obviously free to play. You don't have to pay for subscriptions. So that's what I'll be taking a look at next week. Also, once again, if we are able to get a hold of a few group keys for either Blood Bowl or I think it was, I can't remember what the survival horror game was, then we'll change over and do the group review as opposed to the Darkscape review that I'll be doing. So once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please pop down some comments on what you felt about the game, what you thought about my gameplay, my strategies, the way I play it, the things I do say, whatever it is. Interaction is always encouraged and very well appreciated. And please do scroll over to our website, www.ges-sa.com. We do reviews, previews, and we've got news articles going up. Everything related to anime, cosplay, gaming, hardware, technology, movies, television shows. we've got a lot of competitions that we run as well, and events that we host. We've got a zombie run coming up pretty soon, and we are attending the Rage Expo next week at the Dome, and we hope to see you there. We'll be doing some live casts from there, as well as reviews and interviews, and we've got something very, very special lined up. Not going to mention it right now, but we're going to be one of the first companies in South Africa with hands-on experience on something pretty freaking awesome. But we'll get into that next week. Thank you once again for watching. I thoroughly appreciate it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play us out here after logging out and saying cheers back to the main menu. Okay. Thank you very much, Book of Unwritten Tales. You have been awesome. So, I'm going to play us out with a very familiar song. Thank you guys. Good night.